Hello, I'm John Dahl.
And I'm Sherry Miller.
Coming up on First News, Canada unveils a plan to spend tens of billions of dollars on defense into the 21st century. But critics say upgrading defenses may draw Canada into American military strategy and could alarm the Soviet Union.
Also ahead on First News, rape crisis centers are reporting a disturbing new trend across Canada. There are no definite figures, but there are more cases reported of young girls being sexually assaulted by young boys, often their own age.
Stay with us. First News is next.
Serving Ontario on Cable 3, you're tuned to the Global Television Network.
First News with Elaine Loring, Sherry Miller, and John Dahl.
Good evening. The Mulroney government today outlined a new defense plan that could cost $180 billion over the next 15 years. The massive spending program was set out in a white paper delivered in Ottawa by Defense Minister Perrin Beatty. It was the first policy paper on defense to be tabled in 16 years. The centerpiece of the plan is an expenditure of about $8 billion for at least 10 nuclear-powered submarines. The first of those would not be in service until 1996. The government also plans to order 6 modern frigates, in addition to 6 already being built. As expected, Canadian NATO troops that had been on standby for the defense of Norway will be reassigned to West Germany. And the size of the Armed Forces reserves will almost be doubled to about 90,000 people.
When fully implemented, the programs which will flow from this white paper will restore.
Hello, I'm Sherry Miller.
And I'm Leslie McDonald.
Coming up on First News, today is Missing Children's Day. Many children who are abducted by a parent are being taken to the United States, where they are difficult to locate. We'll talk to a man who has a remarkable record in finding these children.
Also ahead on First News, the Shaw Festival at Niagara-on-the-Lake begins its 26th season this week. We'll take a look at one of the season's opening productions, Major Barbara.
Stay with us. First News is next.
Miscellaneous Affairs must protect exiled government officials from assassins on Adderley, tonight at 10 on the Global Television Network.
First News with Leslie McDonald and Sherry Miller.
Good evening. 2 Montreal firemen were killed today when a brick and stone wall in a burning church collapsed. 3 others were injured. The fire was deliberately set, and police say a woman turned herself in just minutes after it began. The 80-year-old church was a landmark in downtown Montreal. The fire was started about 4:30 this morning, and the side wall collapsed 2 hours later. 2 firefighters who died were on an aerial ladder which was broken off from a fire truck. Both men were married, each with 3 children. One official said there would have been about 20 deaths if the wall had collapsed the other way. French President Francois Mitterrand said today that he wants to get close to the soul of Canada as he arrived in Ottawa for a 5-day visit. Mr. Mitterrand arrived this morning at Uplands Airport in a Concorde jet. It is the first state visit to Canada by a French president since Charles de Gaulle was here in 1967. Mr. Mitterrand will travel to 4 provinces, including Quebec, before